Something strange about Halloween. It's that time of the year again. Sure, it's fun. You get to dress up as your favorite superhero or princess, excitedly knocking on the doors to get treats, impatiently waiting to get home to eat them. Sure, it's the beginning of the holiday shopping season where the economy starts to spark up, helps the retail industry, the decorations, the costumes, and the candies being sold. Yeah, sure, it's a propaganda, but it's fun and filled with nostalgia.
Frankenberry's got strawberry-flavored marshmallows.
Count Choculate's got chocolate marshmallows.
Well, I've got blueberry-flavored marshmallows. Frankenberry.
Count Chocolate.
And blueberry.
Horrifying, isn't it? With all peanut butter flavor, you'll always come back for more. Nothing but peanut butter taste in each bite.
But what are we really celebrating? Is it all just for money? Or is there something sinister at play? All Hallows Eve is a Scottish term. The origins goes back to ancient Celtic festivals of Samhain. It was celebrated the night before the Celtics' New Year, November 1st, a couple thousand years ago in what is known today as Ireland. It was the end of the harvest time and summer, the beginning of dark days, the cold winter, which they associated with death. October 31st was a day the veil between the physical world and the spirit realm attenuated. The spirits would cross over into our world. People would prepare for the arrival of their dead ancestors. That wasn't the only thing they expected. They would also prepare for the evil entities. People would leave treats for them by leaving foods and drinks so that the living in their livestock would survive their winter. It was said that these spirits were visible to people. They would create big bonfires to ward off the evil, and they would wear ugly masks to confuse them from recognition. You see, they believed these spirits would go after the people they didn't like, so they had to disguise themselves with costumes for protection. They would leave lanterns burning on their windows so that these spirits can find their way home. Speaking of lanterns, it's been told that a blacksmith named Stingy Jack was a miserable old drunk who took pleasure in playing tricks on just about everyone. His family, his friends, his mother, and yep, even the devil himself. He tricked the devil into climbing up an apple tree. Once the devil climbed up the tree, Stingy Jack quickly placed crosses around the trunk of the tree. Unable to touch the cross, the devil was stuck in the tree. Stingy Jack made the devil promise him not to take his soul when he died. Once the devil promised not to take his soul, Stingy Jack removed the crosses, and the devil climbed down out of the apple tree. Years pass and Jack dies. He arrived at the pearly gates of heaven and was told by St. Peter that he was mean and cruel and had led a miserable life on earth. Stingy Jack was not allowed to enter heaven. He was then casted down to hell. The devil kept his promise and would not allow him to enter hell. Alone, scared, and nowhere to go but to wander about forever in the dark netherworld between heaven and hell, he asked the devil how he could leave, as there was no light. The devil tossed him an ember from the flames of hell to help Stingy Jack light his way. Jack had a turnip with him. It was one of his favorite foods, and he always carried one with him. Jack hollowed out the turnip and placed the ember the devil had given him inside the turnip. From that day onward, Stingy Jack roamed the earth without a resting place, lighting his way as he went with his jack-o'-lantern. Now, that's just a tale. Who knows the meaning behind it? But I find it entertaining. See, these are myths brought to us by the Irish during the potato famine. Instead of turnips, we now use pumpkins to carve. Now, I'm not saying this story is true, nor am I saying it isn't. That's up to you to decide how much of this is accurate. I'm just telling you the origin so that you guys can be aware of what you're celebrating. Many of us are oblivious to these things, but we roll with it because it's common practice we have witnessed since childhood. We have become accustomed to it. But I do find it interesting that not only the Irish celebrate the dead, so does Mexico, USA, Spain, the Caribbean, India, Central and South America, they all do. They all celebrate it around the same time. Who knows what's really going on out there around this time? I guess staying home and keeping it safe is a journey I'd rather take. Nothing strange about that.